guys, I'm Michael Woods.
And I'm Chris Lake. How you guys doing? We didn't start off very well, did we?
I'm Chris Lake.
Michael Woods.
And we're here in my studio in Los Angeles. Why are you here?
Because you dragged me out of bed. And you wanted to talk about a record we made a few months ago.
Yeah, that's true. We made a record called Black Thong. We're still not sure why we call it Black Thong, are we?
I've got a feeling it's to do with you got some issues, I think.
Go on. You tell your story and then I'm going to change it.
Oh, are they completely different stories?
I've got a funny feeling there might be. You crack on.
How did it start? Basically, you came into my studio and we had pretty much a blank canvas. And I think I loaded up a particular sound and Chris spent half an hour making some crazy tweaks in it, played a riff in, and it was like within literally half an hour it was like, wow, that really works well. Like it literally, because sometimes you can work on stuff for like hours and even days and you're still not quite sure, but in this case it was literally, he played in this crazy thing and it was straight away we both looked at each other and thought, yeah, that kind of works. So we know we had the element of where it drops in, like when it kicks in, we knew we had that bit right. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of, then after that it was kind of working on all the stuff around it.
But it wasn't quite a blank canvas you've written like 7 ideas, haven't you? You played me 7 ideas and
you were like, yeah, they're all shit.
Well, I never said those words.
Well, because I knew Chris was coming over, so I quickly got out of bed. Let me work on some ideas quickly, so it looks like I've been, I'm actually serious about this thing. So yeah, I worked on some stuff, and it was like, yeah, he wasn't really feeling it. But actually, one of the ideas I kind of utilised part of it in the, when I was saying we worked on all the stuff around the main drop. Like some of the stuff, one of the ideas I played in, I kind of utilised it in one of the, in the build-up and stuff and the breakdown. Mm-hmm. So we kind of went with, an idea in that.
Yeah, well, you're Logic through and through, aren't you? You use Logic all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm more Ableton based. I can use Logic. I've got no problem collaborating with people in Logic. I'm just slow. I find it really. It just takes me a lot longer to do anything in Logic than it does in any other of the DAWs. So we did that. We did that first session. It was a couple of hours long. Nailed that drop section. Got all the tweaks, got all the variations. The kind of like the Dutchy sort of sound and lead. Nailed that, but then we kind of toyed around with a couple of breakdown ideas, and they weren't quite right, were they? So then I left. You worked on it more. You came up with we had a Skype call, didn't we? I think. And then you played the piano, you played the keys, and I was like, oh, this chord progression is really, really cool. I tweak things a lot.
Chris is a tweaker. When working with this guy, a track is never finished. This guy will tweak and tweak and tweak until the cows come home. Now, the first track we done together back in 2009, where it was called, is a track called Dominoes, and I remember, because we're managed by the same guy, and he was like, God, will Chris ever stop tweaking this track? Because it was going on forever and ever and ever and ever. And in the end, we had to actually pull all the faders down and start from scratch, because from the beginning to where it got to with all his tweaks, it went completely out of shape. Like, I don't even know what the hell happened.
Yeah, but
but we literally had to start from scratch.
But the main thing is, I have my methods. I like where we end up. I like where we end up at the end. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
So, it's just loads. We've got loads of different versions on the computer.
Yeah, I actually opened up the folder the other day, and it was because I called the track Chris Lake, obviously, and it was like Chris Lake 41. I was like, are there 41 versions of this track? So anyway, yeah, it was. But from start to finish, I think the whole thing it took literally. I mean, we got the nuts and bolts done literally within a day. So, but then after all the tweaks and stuff, it was, I don't know. And testing it probably took, you know, it was a month really. Like just testing it out and make sure that everything was exactly how we wanted it.
But that's the plus side of being you know, touring DJs like we are. We can go and test it out on really good sound systems. Quite a lot of really bad ones as well. And
yeah, which helps actually.
Yeah, sometimes the really bad ones are the ones that highlight the biggest problems with the record. So, you know, I was testing things. Michael was coming back saying, "Oh, I like this. I want to change this. I want to change that." I was saying the same sort of thing. So it was just like a lot of trial and error, and then we ended up choosing on a mastering guy that we liked. And who did we use? Exchange.
Yeah. Guy called Mike Marsh, he's like really cool. So he does a lot of Calvin Harris's stuff, and yeah, I mean, he's like really just put that finishing, polishing touch on the end, which, you know, makes, even though it's like a, you know, a 2% difference, it makes a big difference.
I'm not a mastering engineer. It's as simple as that. I can do something that I think sounds good. But I don't know, whenever I get something back from a mastering engineer, I don't know about you, but I just think it sounds better. Maybe because it surprises me, because I don't associate. I think that one of the problems with your own records is you listen to I listen to something, I listen to a sound, and I think about the path that I took to get to that sound. Sometimes when someone's come in and mastered something, it just feels better because you're just hearing the result. You haven't had a part of the technique to actually master it. So anyway, so we got the masters back and we loved it, and it sounded great in the club. The focus on America, that's been a relatively new thing. But there's been great parties here for a long time. It's just that there's a lot more of them now. There's a lot more excitement. There's a lot more coverage about them. There's just a lot more people talking about them. It's got a new name. It's EDM. You know, it's like it's the same thing. It's a different skin. You know, it's just a tagline for people to jump on. For me personally, I was getting a lot of success out in America, a lot of radio play with my records, a lot of opportunities to play in markets that I'd never played before, and I've done a lot of touring in Europe as well. So this was like a new chapter for me and a new opportunity to come and be part of something that's kind of, how do you put it? Be part of something that's fresh to a whole load of, whole new audience.
Yeah.
In Europe, it's not quite like that. We're surrounded with it. We grow up with it. We hear it on every advert. We hear it on, you can sum it up by hearing Underworld on the Olympic ceremony. You know, that's how much dance music is rooted into British culture and European culture.
But it's good because it's kind of like we've come here to it's almost like we've come here to recharge our battery, so to speak, because, we've been, like Chris was saying, it's kind of not old, but, it's dance music is so ingrained in like UK culture. You can kind of get a bit stagnant, and sometimes you need to come away from it just to get a new grip, just get a new kind of sight on things. And coming out here is because it's so kind of new and fresh. You kind of infuse yourself with that kind of new energy. Do you know what I mean? It kind of gives you a new lease of life, so to speak. So you kind of feel a lot more enthused. So that's what I feel when I'm out here.
I was saying it's a shame. It's a shame that there's been a lot of negative press actually from the European side towards how much positive there's been going on in America. I mean, if you move aside from the musicality of things, I know there's a lot of snobbery involved in what music is popular in America, compared to what music is popular in Europe. That's fine, but the main thing is there's huge audiences that are having such a good time out here, and they're absolutely loving the parties. And as a DJ, you know, as a performer, as an artist, as someone that goes out and does things live. You know, I'm not saying that's me, just saying other colleagues and that. It's fun to play to because the reactions are fantastic and it's just fresh for these people. And it's just amazing to be involved in, and for that, when people are having so much fun and there's so much positivity around it, I find it very difficult to listen to the negative side of people's opinions. But that can be the good thing that happens, you know. Because that's where I think all of these discussions do become positive, is because, you know, like, it's fine everyone talking about things, but you know what, just give your mouth a rest. If you want to do something positive, you know, go and make something that's better than everyone else, you know, than everything else everyone's doing, and you know, and put your money where your mouth is, basically, and show that there's something better rather than bitching about it. So I think that'll come though. I think there's a lot of talented people out there, and you know, this is just the same as what happened in England when trance was popular. Trance is shit. Trance is shit. You know, it's all about the underground, and it's like everything goes in cycles. And you know, what else has been shit? UK garage is shit, and everything is shit. Everything's shit at some point. You know, it's like at the moment. You know, commercial dance music is shit.
Well, dance music seems to have kind of, you know, dance music has always survived. Like, you know, you've got new genres of music that come through, like, you know, dubstep came and it sort of hit high and it kind of died down a bit, and then it was now kind of trap music out here is kind of the new thing. But, you know, I wonder how long it will last. I don't know. I don't think very long. I think it's just something that's new that people, oh, it's something different, but then they always come back to dance music.
I'm just laughing. We're talking about trap. I just wonder how big that stuff is. I reckon we're only talking about that because our manager loves trap.
Yeah.
He's like, play some trap music, dude.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, exactly. He actually came on after a show of mine and he was like, right, let me show you how to really play. And he put on trap music, I swear, the dance floor just parted. Like, he emptied the dance floor. The trap.
Well, rather him than you.
Exactly, wasn't it? Basically, I've lived like a hermit in January. I've just been in the studio because, like, you know, like Chris, when you're on the road, it's really difficult to, you know what I mean, to concentrate on the music because you're always thinking about, you know, touring and stuff. So I literally spend the whole of January just working on new material, which I'm looking to like trickle out over the course of 2013. I've got a track coming out on Fly Eye, Calvin Harris's label, on March 11. So look out for that one. What?
I'll give you a USB stick in a minute.
Oh, thanks.
You better give it to me.
Okay, cool. And yeah, just like more touring and stuff. Hopefully, going to work on another track with Chris at some point. You know you are. You know you are.
Way too busy.
And what we need to do as well, we need to do a back-to-back at some point. We need to try and get.
We were going to do that. We were going to do that last week, but you buggered off to Hawaii.
Oh, sorry about that. It's a hard life.
For me, yeah, I'm going to be. Oh, well, I've been talking about this for a long time. So whether you want to believe me or not, it's up to you. I'm putting out an album, and
what's the name of the album?
Yeah, exactly. So untitled, and that'll be coming out on Ultra Records. That's a definite. And what else am I doing?
When's it due to come out?
I don't know, because I haven't given them the masters.
Oh, right. Have you actually done the tracks?
Yeah, kind of.
You tweaking them?
Yeah.
You tweaking them, are you?
Tweaking it. That's what I call it. Tweaking it.
There you go. Tweaking.
Tweaking. But I need to make a signature record.